Hey guys, it's Nao here. Welcome to your TarotScope for the week of July 14th, 2019. It has been a minute, hasn't it, since we have been here together for one of these, and I'm going back to the good old-fashioned format. But let me tell you something, this retrograde season is no joke. I have been having a really hard time just keeping focused. My dreamscapes have been really in-depth, really intense, and really kind of exhausting. I feel like I'm so busy doing things in the astral that when I kind of come back into my body, I don't want to do much of anything else. But I've decided to get it together, bring my chutzpah to you so we can get this TarotScope out to you guys, since I did take last week off because life got sloppy, life got messy, and it's bound to happen at some point, right? So let's get into it. Aries, your card of the week is the Ace of Cups. So the title for this card is Ecstasy. So this is about living fully, truthfully, and completely to yourself, being ecstatic in the moment, being present, being full. And since we're dealing with cups, we're dealing with the emotions. So this is living true to the emotional self that you have. So this is definitely not a time that to kind of cover your emotions up or to smother them or control them or try and hide them anyway. It's really about a time to live fully and truly in connection with them and be expressive, be outpouring. Let thy cup overfloweth, if you will. As you can see in the imagery of the card, we have a lot of, can you focus, camera? Oh, look at there, focused. You know how it likes to be with this kind of stuff. Look at all that. There's glorious flowers bursting open. There's lots of moving water, shiny water. So that's what you need to be doing, Aries, is you need to be flowing. You need to be blooming, because aces usually deal with new things, right? This is the beginning of the suit, so it's at the very beginning point. So there's a lot of newness in this card. So explore those new emotional horizons that you have and be open and flow into them and blossom into this new space that you have. And it'll be good for you, Aries. It's always good to grow, expand, explore, be intuitive, be connected to that yummy, touchy-feely goodness in the heart space this week. Taurus, your card of the week is the Woman of Wands. So her keyword is the Censor. And that means being aware and being connected to all of the information that can come into you through your more intuitive and psychic abilities. We'll get onto that later about me and that word psychic. But anyways, back to you, Taurus. This is a good week for you, Taurus, to focus on your intuitive and your psychic capabilities. So whatever medium you use to connect to that, get into it. That can be astrology, that can be tarot. This would be a good time to do meditation and journey work. Get into those skills, and it's time to develop them and cultivate them, because they are a skill just like any other. You get better at it with practice. As a censor, you want to use all of your perceptive ability. So that is your five senses. Use your eyes, use your nose, use your tongue, use your ears, use your fingertips to take in information and data. But also go beyond that, right? We know the sixth sense, that intuitive psychic capability that you have. Use that to feel your surroundings this week and pull that data in, because you're more receptive to it than normal. There's probably some hidden information floating around in the ether for you right now. So sink into that intuition and pull that data forward, because it's going to be relevant for you this week. Gemini, your card of the week is the Four of Cups, and its key word is anger. Ooh, you gonna be pissed the fuck off this week, and that is okay. Being pissed off is a good thing sometimes. You just have to make sure that it's being directed in an appropriate and a constructive way, right? Take that energy, because it is a very active energy, right? This is Martian energy. This is Mars. This is the ego. So really, it might not be you necessarily that's at risk, but your ego might get hurt. It might get pricked. Someone might hit your pride in the nuts. So you might have to feel a little bit retaliatory, but that energy may inspire you to actually do something Because maybe that person pointed out something to you that you didn't like what you saw when you actually paid attention to. So now you want to take that piss offedness and direct it towards correcting that thing, correcting that insecurity, smoothing it over, or maybe taking ownership of the fact that maybe you didn't have all of the skills or the requisite knowledge for a thing, or maybe you weren't totally emotionally aware or capable in the moment, and being called on it really freaking hurts your damn feels in the mad way. So take that rumbly grumbles and make it active. Do something about it. I know it's summer. We all want to sit lazy in a hammock somewhere, and I feel you. It's hot as fuck in here right now. Just make sure that you're not releasing your anger in a way that's going to be hurtful or harmful, not just to others, but to yourself as well. You really want to be constructive with it, because fours are supposed to be cards of stability, right? So you don't want to undermine stability. You want to actually enhance it by just taking the active principles within this card and applying it forcefully, constructively, in a way that actually corrects an imbalance rather than furthering it. Cancer, my lovely dears, we are in your season, and you are the Sage of Cups this week. You are the regenerator. Ooh, so this is actually going to be something that you're really connected to. This is a moon card. This is about emotions, and this is also about healing too. So this is something this is actually a pretty good card. This is an at-home place for you. So this week, focus on sinking in to the good feels, sinking in to healing yourself and to healing others around you in a regenerative way. So this isn't, remember, it's not just healer, it's regenerator. So there is a revitalization, right? So we put that little in the beginning because it means that some activity has already happened, right? You've already gone through something. The activity has already happened, and it may leave you a little bit drained, a little feeling low, and others around you maybe are in a similar position. So if you're feeling low, you're feeling the retrogrades really harshly right now, take some time for some TLC and to give back to yourself. Heal yourself a little bit. I know it's so cliche to say take a bath for self-care, but fuck, you're a Cancer. You're a water sign. Of course, get into some water. Go swimming. Get in a hot tub, whatever it is, but be around water. Listen to a fountain for a little while, or before you go to sleep, chill out with some ocean wave sounds, you know what I mean? But just connect to that watery goodness and how rejuvenating that can make you feel. But this is also really interestingly a card of laughter. As you can see, these two happy folks down here in the corner, they're laughing. They've got big smiley faces. So remember that laughter is medicine. It's a regenerative medicine. So watch a freaking silly movie, listen to your favorite stand-up, give yourself permission to laugh, or hang out with the friends that make you laugh the most, because that's also going to help rejuvenate and revitalize yourself this week. Leo, your card of the week is time space. So this is what would commonly be associated with judgment in most classic tarot decks, but in this deck it is called time space, and there's a good reason for that. It's still got a similar energy. This is definitely about karma and the laws of the world in which we live in. It is good for you, Leo, to be aware of the cyclical karmic patterns that you are involved in. Maybe you're dealing with some karmic shit right now with the people that you are involved with that probably needs to be broken out of. There's a cycle that probably needs to be released, and your judgment in terms of how you should act in order to do that is going to be very valuable this week. However, you are going to want to do it a little bit more dispassionately than you normally would. We know how fiery and feisty y'all can be, but this is a time to kind of step back from that feistiness and be a little bit more objective about it and recognize that this cyclical pattern involve contributions from both parties, not just one, not just you, but both of you. So take ownership of what your contribution was or is, because, repetitiveness, right? Cycles of continuing. You could be acting out the same shit that you were, however many odd lives ago. You won't actually be able to break free of the cycle if you were not aware that you are inside of it in the first place. So take ownership of it and see what you can do to accept what you have done previously and to move on from here in a new direction. Set a new pattern for this situation. Otherwise, keep enjoying your merry-go-round ride. Virgo, your card of the week is the Ace of Worlds. This is the success card. And it's not just success within just the earth element, with just the material and physical realm, right? Because you can see there's actually all of the planets are at play in this card. So it's saying be successful on all fronts. Be successful on the things that we typically associate with the sun, and that is your conscious self. Be successful in the moon, which is in your emotional self. Mercury, your communications. Venus, your artistic expression and the way that you femininely connect and show love. Mars, your sexuality, your ego. Jupiter, your expansive properties, your ability to expand your mind. Saturn, your discipline, your constriction. Uranus, your ability to say, fuck all this shit, I do what I want. Neptune, your dream state and your spiritual connectivity. And Pluto, your ability to regenerate yourself through transition. So be successful on all those fronts. Maybe that's going to involve a little bit of, reflection on your part, some analysis, but you're a Virgo. You know how to analyze things. You actually do it too damn much sometimes. So analyze the things that created the successfulness that you are experiencing and see if you can replicate that in the future when you're feeling that things maybe have gotten a little bit sideways. Because that's good data to have, right? It's good data to come back to. So enjoy your successes and think about how you can replicate that again in the future. Now I know what you're thinking. Things are on fire for me, girl. What you talking about? Okay, so if you find yourself in a position where you don't feel very successful, think about why that is. What's going on? What are you doing to contribute to that situation? That's also good information to have, Virgo. You want to know how you're fucking up, so that way you can, again, like I was just telling Leo, you can do something about it. So figure it out, Virgo. Use that brain of yours. Libra, your card of the week is Fortune. Woohoo! Yeah, spin that wheel and let it ride. Fortune comes to us from following our passions, and it's also a reward for doing things correctly, doing things in alignment with ourselves. So enjoy the positive reward because it sounds like you've been doing some things right lately, Libra. Hey. So go with the direction that's currently being set out in front of you, especially the ways that you feel that you're being kind of pulled almost as though by fate or by destiny. Kind of follow that right now, because right now that is a good open pathway for you. It's a good way to move forward. It's a good way to go with the flow because the activity is already set in motion. I feel like even if you were to resist, you're kind of just going to get pulled along by it anyways. There's such an intense magnetism, intense draw to it. So just go with it for right now, Libra. Follow it and see where it leads you, because it's actually going to end up to being a pretty fortunate place to be. At the very least, it's definitely going to be a place in which you're supposed to be. It's very fated, very fateful. So follow your fate this week, Libra, and let us know where it leads you. This part of the TarotScope gets really interesting because each of the two signs that I'm going to go into, Scorpio and Sag, and then Cap and Aquarius, each of you guys have sequential cards that follow each other. So there's some interesting interplay going on here. And the fact that it also repeated in twos is super freaking fascinating. So my Scorpio friends, my Sagittarius friends, my Capricorn friends, and my Aquarius friends, y'all maybe need to pay attention to each other. So Scorps, hang out with those Sages, and Caps, hang out with those Aquas, because I feel like there's something going on between y'all this week. So let's get into that. Scorpio, your card of the week is the Magician. So this is about directly manifesting things. Yes, indeedly do. So it's time to get in touch with those primal forces. And Scorpio, since your sign is associated with sexual energy, right? That's also a very primordial form of creative energy, right? It's that coming together of two primal forces, the masculine and the feminine, that come together to create something new. So tap into that. I don't know if you Scorps are into any sex magic or anything like that, but maybe you guys need to do some divine masturbation or some shit and direct your sexual energy towards a manifestation. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying to start popping out no babies like crazy or nothing, but I am saying is to take that type of energy, that creative, passionate, rooted, primal energy, and put that into something that you want to bring into being, whether that's a new job, whether that's a new home, but it's something needs to be brought into manifestation. You need to stop thinking about it. You need to stop letting it just be an idea. You need to pull it into reality, and the Magician is good for that this week. Now, see how this works when we talk about our Sagittarius friends. So Sagittarius, your card of the week is the Priestess. So see how we were at Magician just previously, and now we are onto the Priestess. So this is the feminine side of that coin. And granted, we have with the Magician, the more active principle, the more direct manifester. The Priestess is more about the receptor. She receives that energy from the Magician. The feminine receives the energy from the masculine in order to go through the process of creation. So whereas the Magician is more of the active card, this is more suggesting, Sagittarius, that you be receptive, that you let things come to you. And it's more about you being still and chill the F out. I know that's hard for y'all, because that's how things are going to work this week for you. It's more about letting things come rather than you being the actor in this. So be reflective. Think about the position you are in or what you're trying to call towards you. Sing a siren song. Call it towards you rather than push it into being. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Work with your Scorpio and Sag friends this week. Y'all got something going on. Figure it out. On to our next pair with Capricorn and Aquarius. So Capricorn, your card of the week here is the Six of Crystals. So this is confusion. This is not a time to hold a fixed position. This is not a time to hold on to an idea to the death. This is not a time to pick a hill to die on. It's time to stay open to ideas and time to stay open to new ways of thinking. Because if you try and be rigid now, Capricorn, and I know that's your thing, but it's not going to be helpful for you. It's actually just going to dilute things even further. It's not going to help bring clarity at all. You're going to stay in this place of what the fuck is going on. And nobody wants to be there. You want to know what's going on. You like to be in control of things. So the best way to do that is to keep an open mind about things and not to get too fixed in a position. Particularly when it comes to opposites, you should probably see that there is gray in between. If you are sitting there saying like, no, it is black and it always should be black, or if you're doing the opposite thing, no, it's white, or it's one or the other. There is no in between. You're fucking wrong this week, Capricorn. There is in between, and you have to see that. You have to see the interplay between the two, the exchange, the flow back and forth, because that nuance is where most of life is happening. And you want to be in with that, right? Of course you do. You totally have the capacity to understand more than one point of view, Capricorn. So don't be a stick in the mud, okay? So we were just at the 6 of crystals, and now here we are at the 7. So this is dullness. That's right, Aquarius. You're dull. Ha. Just kidding. Freaking aliens. We are back in the mental realm again here. So with this card, it's more about your brain is feeling dull. You are feeling uninspired, but you still feel the need to try and do something, to try and break out of it, to try and get this mucky blah 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 that's in your headspace out of the way. But I don't think you're going to be able to force it this week, Aquarius. I think you're just going to have to sit in it and recognize that when you are feeling clouded like that, you just need to relax. You just need to rest. You just need to let it be for a little while. Trying to force the issue is just going to make you more tired. It's going to make you feel even more dull. So it's better to let it lie fallow for a little while. Calm down, rest, relax a little bit and wait for things to kind of come back around organically on their own, because they will. Get together with your Capricorn friend, put on some silly shows, put on some just mind-numbing good stuff, some brain rinse TV that doesn't involve a lot of mental heavy lifting, and just chill out. Just calm down. And if anything, that Capricorn who is confused as fuck will probably have a lot to tell you, Aquarius, and maybe something that comes out of their mouth will actually stimulate you intellectually. And that'll be a good thing for both of you. You can help clear up their confusion, and they can help re-energize your brain. There you go. Get on it, kids. Pisces, my fellow fishies, we are at the Two of Cups this week, and this is a card of equilibrium. Look at that. Pretty, right? That's so nice. I like this card. So it's about riding the waters, right? Flowing with the emotional state, flowing with all that's going on around you, and avoiding going too high or too low emotionally. Make sure it's more of a nice undulation rather than going, ah, muh, ah, muh. I don't know what I'm doing. Keep things in balance, keep things in perspective, but feel those emotions. Just enjoy them. And this is actually a pretty good card. I feel like this is totally within our power to handle this week. I feel like I need to take some time for myself to just keep things in perspective, because I know there are some times where I stress out a little bit too much, where you're kind of making a mountain out of a molehill, and I'm getting better at realizing I don't need to do that to myself, right? Because the only person I'm like doing anything to is myself. Like, I'm not making anything better, I'm not resolving an issue, I'm not like doing anything to improve my situation. I'm really just beating myself up over the head emotionally, and why do that? Nobody needs that. So let's do that this week, Pisces. Let's try and focus on the things that are getting us to go from high to low, and try and put a little bit of perspective on them, and realize that maybe sometimes it's not worth getting so upset over, because maybe you can't do anything about it in the moment. Maybe you can't say what you need to say or do what you need to do, but maybe that's okay. Maybe it's about timing more than anything else, right? So let's keep it in balance this week, my fellow fishies. I'll be right there with you. Okay, you guys, that is it for this week's TarotScope. I hope it all finds you well. Whew, it's getting hot in this here room. I'm gonna go cool off with a popsicle, hang out with my young ones, and I'm getting ready to go to the Oregon Country Fair tomorrow, which is very exciting because it is also me and my husband's relationship anniversary. So I'm going to go enjoy that. I hope you guys enjoy your week, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, my lovely.